Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Self-love through freedom and connection. So feel free to connect to the brave never fall on these social media platforms. If you find anything of value in this following podcast, hit that like button, subscribe and share, and support the brave and bold tribe growing one purposeful soul at a time. How are you feeling? Take a moment to do a self-check-in for yourself. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling spiritually? Are you feeling balanced? Are you still journeying on an intentional, purposeful path? How are you feeling? Balancing yourself is a healthy daily practice that will reliably keep you in harmony with your entire mind, body, heart, and soul. Clear your mind. Take a moment of silence for yourself right now in the moment. You are here now. How are you feeling? Life is only as simple as your clarity and perception of life. Life can be as simple as you make it. As individuals, as human beings, whether we like it or not, we tend to find our way towards places of being uncomfortable and finding ways to make in those uncomfortable situations as comfortable as possible, as quickly as possible. But we skip steps while we do that. We'll get to the comfortable spot and we won't know how we got there. When we get to a place where we want to revisit the way we got to a comfortable place while we were dealing with an uncomfortable situation, we don't know the steps. We don't know how we got from C from A. We don't have any clarity. We didn't make it simple. And I have found that the simpler you make life, the simpler you can find ways to go through steps and understand those steps and make sure that there's no wasted movement, no wasted motion, no wasted opportunities, no wasted purpose. When you can do that, you find that life is much more simple. It's so much more than just getting by. It's so much more than hoping and praying. It's you taking accountability and ownership of your life and making it as simple as possible. Because when things get complicated, it's just going to pile on the already complicated life you already have if you haven't made time to clarify things in your life and make those things as simple as possible, to get a very basic blueprint that you can go back to at any time and make adjustments on. The simplicity of life is necessary. It's okay to do a lot of things. It's okay to explore your life. It's okay to be adventurous. But it's always nice to return to a simpler form of life. And each version of that is different for each person. Peace of mind is everything. Without it, the mind gets cloudy. Storms coming, and is loud, raging, and dark. Peace is extremely hard to find in these conditions. But like any storm, there's always a way out, and no storm is infinite. On the planet Jupiter, the Great Red Spot is a storm that has been raging for at least 150 years. It's twice the size of our Earth, with wind speeds of up to 175 miles per hour. It has grown and shrunk, and is currently continuing to shrink. It may even disappear in the next 20 to 30 years. Powerful storm, but Jupiter lives on, and the storm will eventually pass. Life is about balance. To understand peace, we must also understand chaos. It's all about focus, self-control, and discipline. If we are not proficient in these areas, we will be trapped in our own personal versions of Jupiter's giant storm. Simplicity is our aim. Storms can be very complex, but the simplest solutions can keep you safe while enduring them. Weathering a storm does not need to be chaotic. It can be peaceful as well. How? Because you see life for what it is. Awareness that a storm could unpredictably approach at any moment is enough to know that you should be prepared for anything, and that when the storm comes, learn from it, grow from it, understand that there are no coincidences. In life, that storm you are in is there for a reason. Peace comes after you acknowledge that reason, after discovering it, not just being grateful that the storm is past. What did it teach you? How did it make you feel? Is your life more complicated now that it's gone? Or is your life and perception of life in general simpler now that the storm has dissipated? Life is simple. Learn to find peace within it. Enterprise of Emotions, Strength, and Happiness, Episode 8, The Simplicity of Clarity. Do you believe you live a simple life? Maybe that's different than feeling like you live a simple life. And it's really something each individual has to explore for themselves. It's a blueprint that you design and create and build upon the way you see fit. No, we don't always get off to a good running start. In fact, a lot of our lives when we're younger, we don't always get a fair shake. And a lot of people that I've talked to, most people that I've talked to, there's always something in our childhood that we've managed to block out, misremember, misunderstand, or don't know. There are secrets in our past. There are things we don't remember that other people remember. And those people may be close to you. You may talk to them every single day. You may have only met them once, but they know something about you that you will never remember. You just don't have it in your memory banks. You have no emotional tie to it. That type of thinking can be overwhelming. That type of thinking, it can be something that will destroy you if you focus on it, which is why what happened in our childhoods is what it is. And it's not an excuse when we become adults and we have to figure out what to do with our life and how do we change that blueprint. Yes, we were handed unfair blueprints when we were children. Why? Because we didn't ask for them. No one asked to be here. If you asked to be here, raise your hand and you're dismissed from this podcast and from any discussion in the future. Because, my goodness, how did you bargain that deal? To raise your hand before you even born and say, hey, I want this to happen. Right from the start. I want to hit the ground running. Amazing the mindset that is. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that mindset. But in reality, we didn't get a chance to pick our parents. We didn't get a chance to pick our childhood experiences in life, whether we liked it or not, was defining us and shaping us into young human beings. But life is beautiful in this way. You can change it anytime you want, once you're free to do that. We all remember when we were younger and we were just aching to get away from our parents, to move out of the small town, to move out of the big city, to do whatever you want with your life. And then when it's time for it to happen, some of us felt prepared. Some of us felt just not prepared at all. And then there was people in the gray area. I kind of landed in that gray area. I had a solid idea of where I needed to go and what I needed to do, but I was missing something. I was over complicating all those decisions. I was adding in way too many decisions. I was adding in way too many people, too many places, and too many things in my life. I was over complicating something that should have been simple. Something that should have been simple, I was instinctively at the time making it more complicated than it had to be. And a lot of this is upbringing. A lot of this is not, I'm not even talking about your parents here. I'm just talking about you experiencing your own life. We are not going to look at other people and say, these people are the reason why I am today. Whether it's fair or unfair to say that particular thing, the fact of the matter is that you're the one who is ingesting air into your lungs at this moment. It is your heart that is beating. It is your mind that is working. It's your soul. You don't share it with anyone. So that means you have a choice to make in life. You can choose to make things overcomplicated, or you can choose to make things very simple in life. Now that route does have its own gray area with challenges and goals and wanting more for yourself and raising the bar, knowing that the sky is not the limit, that there is no end, that you are here now. All of that is in that area of, it's not super simple and it's not super complicated. It's somewhere manageable, someplace that we can kind of step a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, a little bit forward, a little bit back within that little range of, okay, this is getting a little bit too complicated. And then you reel it back in. And the fascinating, fun thing about that, the thing that makes me smile about life, is that you can test that overcomplicated area, but you choose a different word for complicated or overbearing or just a huge struggle. What you put in there is a challenge or a goal. Because we don't want to be afraid to go in that direction either. You don't want to be so simple that you don't ever take a single risk in your life. And I don't mean taking a risk like doing something crazy, like doing something you never tried before that is extremely dangerous. That's not what I mean by risk. I mean taking the risk of doing something that's a little bit uncomfortable for you in a single moment, just to see how you would react to it. Just to see how you would react. How do you feel after you do something that you thought you could never do? Good or bad? Let's go back to childhood. What if your parents or whoever cared for you when you were a child only fed you one thing your entire childhood? You only drank, let's just pick a drink, orange juice. You only drank orange juice, and your only meal that you ever had in your entire life was steak, potatoes, corn, a piece of bread, and for dessert, you had a half a slice, a little small slice of chocolate cake. You didn't even get a big slice. You just got a little bit. And that's all you had. That's all you had. I leave water out because, of course, you need your water. So we're just talking about another drink. You didn't get milk. You didn't get anything other than orange juice. You didn't get chicken. You didn't get fish. You didn't get tacos. You didn't get pizza. You got steak every night. And you got that for 18 years. That's all you got. Could you imagine what your life would be like when you finally decided, hey, I want to try something new here? How your body would respond to having a different type of cake and a full one. How your body would respond to a different type of drink, to a different type of protein, to a different type of carb. Could you imagine your taste buds lighting up? Whether you found it disgusting or not, your body is going to react to it in a very profound way. Life is a lot like that. We get in our comfort zones. We've done things the same way over and over and over again our entire lives. And in our minds, we have clarity with that. That makes sense to us. This is what we know. This is what our body knows. We are conditioned to make sure that we do the things that we have been doing over and over and over again. And some people will equate that to discipline. Yes, in a way that is discipline. But there's also another word for that. And that's called a pattern. There are healthy patterns and there are unhealthy patterns. There are healthy routines and unhealthy routines. There is a healthy discipline and an unhealthy discipline. There are people who do drugs every single day routinely in a pattern and they are disciplined about it. To each his own. If that's what you want to do with your life, you have to be accountable for your own actions. But one person might find that to be unhealthy, where the person who's doing it might say, hey, this is just me. So this goes back to each individual. What more do you want from life? If there's something you want from life and it's right there in front of you and you're looking at it and you don't understand it and you're curious about it, why not act upon it just to see? If you had only steak and potatoes and bread and corn your entire life and you finally had a choice to say, okay, I have the opportunity to eat this damn pizza, I'm going to go ahead and take a slice. Nah, I won't risk it. And you keep walking. I mean, come on. You don't know what you don't know. What if that slice of pizza changes your life and you fall in love with food and you become a chef? What if you stop at that pizza place and you grab a slice of pizza and you look up and you meet someone that you've never met before and ends up being your life partner? The risk brings in more in your life than just the act. It opens up doors for you that you never thought you could walk through. You meet people that you never thought you would meet. And the great thing about these things is that the more aligned you are with what you're attempting to quote unquote risk, the more aligned you're going to be with adding those things in your life that are aligned with you. Everything starts to line up because you're going to start, let's say whatever it is you're doing, you end up really enjoying it. And it becomes a staple in your life. Now, all of a sudden, you have a bunch of new experiences, new people, places, and things in your life that you would have never have known would be in your life had you not just taken the time to try something new. But you did. And you found out a whole new world. My version of this is running. Marathon running. That opened up a whole new door to me. And now I'm in groups and it's amazing to go on to my Facebook feed or onto my Instagram and I see people from all over the world, my fellow runners who are getting after it every day. And these people bring motivation without saying a word. They're just showing their times, showing what time of day that they get up, and they're from all over the world. And these are beautiful people, and these people, I'll never meet most of them, but we have a connection through running. And I never would have had these amazing people on my feeds every day if I hadn't taken the chance to just sign up for a marathon, having never ran more than a mile in my life. Having never ran more than a mile in my life, and I signed up for a 10K and just said, you know what, I'm just going to try it. I'm going to train it. And if I fail that day, so what? I still got to experience something great. I got to go down to downtown St. Louis by the riverfront and run a race in beautiful weather with a bunch of people who are doing the same thing I am and have a fun experience that my son could show up for and root his father on doing something he never thought his dad could do. And my running has changed his life in a way, because he knows that his dad is not a quitter. You know, his dad is not boring. His dad is not just going to sit on the couch with his hand in his pants, drinking beer all day and watching football. That's not what his dad does. But that's my story. That's my adventure. That's my journey. That's my path. What is yours? That is what makes my life simple. Knowing that whenever I want a peace of mind, all I got to do is put on my running shoes and go outside and run. Knowing I have that in my back pocket at any time is beautiful. I know at any point, if I want to feel great, I go run, because that's my happy place. That is the place I go to get complete clarity. That is the most simple thing I can do in my life, is just run. Simple. The benefits from it is amazing. I'm getting fresh air. My body's moving. My heart's moving. My mind gets to take a little bit of a break and just enjoy the scenery. I'm just free. It has the effects of flying for me. I feel just as free as a bird when I'm out there. Doesn't matter how much pain I'm in, how tired I am. I don't care. When I know I need to be balanced out, get the running shoes and go out and go for a run. And I think every human being needs a version of that in their lives. Something super simple that you can do that doesn't cost you a ton of money, doesn't take up a lot of time, doesn't affect anyone, but benefits you in so many ways, which in turn benefits other people who are close to you. Because if you're unbalanced and unhinged every day, and your life is just swamped with being chaotic and overcomplicated, it's going to affect the people around you. So by you finding ways and avenues and paths to make your life easier and simple, you're helping the people you're aligned with make their lives a little bit simpler. And that's the beauty of keeping things simple. You can always just say, okay, today I'm going to go after it really hard today. I'm purposely going to go for a challenge that may make my life a little bit complicated in the short term, but I'm going to risk it just to see how I feel about it. And then you can always reel it back in. You can always reel it back in, but it's harder to get it pumped up. It's much harder. One of the things I love about being disciplined, or people who are disciplined in general, I mean, there are different levels of being disciplined. And the ones who are super disciplined, one of the things I admire about them is that they can do things and make them look so simple, but you know they're challenging themselves every single day, because it's not easy to stay disciplined. It is not easy to stay disciplined. It's not easy to get into a positive routine and do something that is not necessarily easy. I say I like to run, but I also know that it's not easy. There are days I don't want to do it. There's days I have to do it because I have to stay in shape to run these races. But at the end of the day, I also know once I get out there, I start having fun. It's just getting over that mental hump of, I don't want to do this today. I'd rather just sit here in my bed. I'd rather just watch TV, play a video game, do something to unwind. Nothing wrong with that. But I always feel like you have to earn that. I've always said when you earn those things become just as simple as anything else. Earning your free time and earning your downtime and your R&R is nothing greater than that when it comes to discipline. Because that is your reward. You get to earn your downtime, and you get to earn your peace time and your joy and your happiness. You start to notice that things don't affect you in such a negative way. You don't seem to care about other things and people when you're doing things that are simple, that is a part of your life, and you're disciplined about it. It clears your mind to have clarity. And that's what we're looking for. We want extra space in our minds to add in things that we want to be in there, not what this world wants to shove into our brains, what other people want to shove into your brains, how places and things affect us. We want to clear out space for the things we want to be in there, the things we know that are aligned with us. It's not enough to wake up every day and say, I just hope I get by. And all this stuff is in my head, and most of it I wish it was gone, and most of it is not even mine. It's time to jettison all that. And any person, place, or thing that is shoving that luggage into your brain, that are just filling your house full of junk. We talked about in a previous podcast about walk into a garage and everybody is just coming in with their junk and just filling up your freaking garage and walking away, making you look like a hoarder. Now, other people who don't see these people come by and they look at you like, what is your problem? What is all this stuff? Doesn't even look like it goes together. Who's all this stuff? And you're just standing there like, what just happened? My garage was completely clear, and in less than an hour, everybody's just putting all their junk in my fucking garage, and now it looks like I'm a hoarder. And it's not even my stuff. Now you have to get rid of it. That's what it's like when you don't have mental clarity and you allow other people to put their stuff into your body, like a drug. Or a garage full of other people's stuff that they don't want. And they're like, hey, this person's wide open over there. The garage is wide open. Let's just put all our stuff in there and walk away. Let them figure it out. Let them have it. We don't want to be those people. We want to be the people that can open our garage and we're standing up there ready for these people to come. We say, hold up right there. You can keep it moving. I got other plans for this garage today. I'm going to fill it with the things I want to fill it with. I'm going to spend time out here doing things that I want to do, not jettison a bunch of bullshit that I didn't want in the first place. We are not mental hoarders. We are meant to hoard our minds with things that are positive, things that are uplifting, things that make us smile, bring us purpose and fulfillment. Not a bunch of bullshit and baggage from other people. Life can be only as simple as you make it. I think the fear of change often gets in the way as well of simple things in life. Because to make things simple, sometimes we have to pull or detach or jettison things that are overcomplicated. And sometimes those overcomplicated things we have attachments to. We have a history with. We have a bond, a tether with. And these things aren't simple to get rid of. We've had them in our lives too long. Again, let's go back to that plate of food. You've had that for so long. It's hard to just say, okay, I'm going to try this new food. And your body may take a little while to get used to it. The first time you drink something other than orange juice, maybe your body might have an odd reaction to it. You don't know because you've never tried it. And that's okay, because that's part of life. And even though you didn't have it before, this is the time to try out new things. It's time to say, okay, this one thing in my life, I've had it for a very long time. It seemed very valuable, but at this point in time, I feel like I can add more onto this or get rid of it completely. Yes, there will be a change. Yes, there will be adjustments. But I know from making this decision, my life will be much more simple. It won't have to be so complicated. I don't have to stress and worry about this particular thing anymore. It just doesn't align with my life anymore. This person does not align with my life anymore. This thing does not align with my life anymore. It doesn't matter if you've known the person for 1 year or 10 years. It doesn't matter if you've been in this place for 10 years or 1 year. You've had the thing for 1 year or 10 years. It doesn't matter. What matters is, how does it make you feel? Is it making you feel weighted down? Or is it making you feel light and free? Is this person loving you in a way where you feel free? Or are they coming at you and making you feel like you have shackles around your feet? These are things in our life we have to get into our brains with and try to pinpoint what these things are and emotionally try to figure out, how does it make us feel? And does it make me happy? Again, an enterprise of strength, happiness, emotions, all these things, your body, your heart, your mind, your soul, all have to be bundled up within you. They're all bundled up in there. You want to simplify all of that. You want to try to get those things in order. You want to try to say, okay, let's get this organized. Maybe I do need to clear out the garage and start all the way over and block the people who are trying to add more things into my garage that I don't want, and get rid of all the shit in there that I already had that I put in there that I don't want any longer. The time for excuses at some point when it comes to having a simple life, or having a life that you want, that you're content with. And this is really a conversation about people who really want to be just comfortable in life, who just want to wake up every day and know I can do what I want to do every day and not feel like a struggle is going to happen every freaking hour. that my night is not going to end up in chaos because I've just had such a bad day and it just steamrolled me straight into my bed. And now, you know, I don't even feel like going to bed. I'm so pissed off. And is this going to happen again tomorrow? The stress and anxiety is kicking the shit out of me. What am I supposed to do? I have to simplify all this. And there's ways to do it. And there's healthy ways to do it. And there's unhealthy ways. And I believe the healthiest way to do it is to start figuring out, first and foremost, be aware of who you are and what things would make your life a lot better and simple, and start moving towards those things, and start moving away from things that are counteracting that. We always say life is about balance, and one good thing about balance is that once things are balanced out, it is very simple. And we know that things are going to happen along the way. Bad things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen. And everything in between. So there's no need to focus on that. We have to focus on what we can do each day to make sure that the base parts of our day are covered with simplicity. And we have mental clarity to add and get rid of whatever we need each day. And it's not a simple thing. And it comes from a place of obviously awareness. But once you get past that and it's time to get into action and what you're actually going to do, then it comes into having fun. And that's really what it's all about. When you start trying to figure out what fun thing I can take on that I haven't done before, and you really look forward to doing it, when you finally find something you're like, this would be freaking awesome if I could do this, and you start preparing for that, it changes you in a positive way. It gives you something else to focus on. It gives you something else positive to have in your life, something you can talk to differently with people. You're not just the same version of yourself every single day. We're not really all the same versions of ourselves each day anyway. But it's nice to wake up and say, you know, I know what this day is going to bring me, and also know I don't know what this day is going to bring me, and I'm okay with that. Because I'm looking forward to doing something a little different today. Today I'm going to learn something different. Today I'm going to talk to someone that I haven't talked to before. Today I'm going to listen to someone I haven't listened to before. Today I'm going to jettison somebody that I should have jettisoned a long time ago. Today I'm going to visit that one place I've been dying to visit. Today I'm going to plan that vacation to another country that I've been thinking about doing. Whatever it is in your life that you want to do, plan for it. It's healthy, regardless if you do it or not. It's healthy to just see it. However, we also get in a place where if those things don't happen, a lot of cases we feel like we failed. And that's understandable as well. We can envision things, we can hope, and we can try to create. And if they don't come to pass, we start getting discouraged. We start thinking, maybe my life's a little bit too simple and maybe I should throw caution to the wind and do something crazy. That's not the answer either. That's where patience kicks in. Discipline kicks in. Just because you want something doesn't mean it's going to be handed to you in a short amount of time. Just because you want something doesn't mean it's going to be handed to you without you earning it. Just because you want something doesn't mean life is going to bend and fold like the movie Inception, where whatever pops in your mind, you can just create it right there on the spot, and it can be as crazy and weird as you want, and nobody's affected by it. It's not the way life works. We have to stay within ourselves, but also understand there's much more of life that we can obtain if we get out of contentment. Because we can view being simple and being content as the same thing. I don't know if they are the same thing. If you're content with being unhappy, that's not the same as having a simple life. If you're unhappy, how is that a simple life? But we can all define our lives in the way that we want individually. But I would think the happier you are, the simpler your life will be. The more you only have in your life what you need instead of what you want, your life will be simpler. When you jettison people that aren't doing anything for you, and people who are toxic, and people who are manipulative and controlling, when you get rid of these people, you automatically are moving towards a life of simplicity and a mind full of clarity. We complicate our lives by adding in things that we are not aligned with, by accepting and allowing people in our lives that do not align with our values and our morals and our core selves. And then we wonder why we're so damn unhappy. We're unhappy because you're allowing too many people, places, and things to influence who you really are and what you really need. It's okay to want. It's okay to get whatever you want out of life. That's your definition of your life. But you have to stick to your vision, but don't stick to it so much where you become just this big, comfortable teddy bear and just sitting there smiling all the time. I mean, that's a very simple life, but what more can you get out of life but still keep your life simple? When you can say, my life is great, my life is simple, and it's simple because I have the freedom to do what I want to do. I have the freedom to want to push myself if I choose to do so. I have the freedom to be super comfortable if that's what I want to do. And no one has the right to tell any other individual what their definition of simple is like. Because really the only people that can answer that question, as I said at the beginning, are ourselves. We are the only ones who can wake up each day and say our lives are simple and content, or content I should say. We're happy or unhappy. We need goals, or we're just living and being comfortable. How are we going to blossom and bloom and change and go through a metamorphosis in life if we just continue down the same path? We eat the same foods every day, visit the same places every day. We only talk to the same people every day. We don't learn anything from anyone new. We don't visit any new places. We don't try new challenges out. We don't try new foods. We don't do anything. We just stay on the beaten path. So much out in this world to be explored. And I always say, if that's the case out in the world, we are connected to this world. So there is so much more in you to be explored. So much more of yourself to be explored. And it can be done in a simple way, and you can gain so much clarity from doing it, because the more you learn about your life through experiencing new things and meeting new, healthy, positive people and aligning with experiences and places and people and things in your life that just are parallel to you and you just feel connected to, undeniably connected to, those are the things that are going to lead you to a place of simplicity and definitely a place of clarity. You have all types of space up there in your mind to fill with whatever you want. The same goes for your heart, your body, and your soul. It's your birthright to have that. You deserve that. But you also deserve the right to earn it. You also deserve the right to be able to go out and challenge yourself each day and know that it's part of your self-discipline. Somebody doesn't have to put a pitchfork up your ass to make you do it. You do it because you want to do it. You do it because you know it makes you a better person. You do it because you know that every time you experience something new, you gain a little bit more of what you didn't even know you had in life. You gain another piece of yourself that you didn't even know it was out there. These are the things in life that I find to be great about life. When you can wake up each day and understand that each and every day is simple, and it's only as complicated as we as individuals make it for ourselves first, and then it starts to branch out to other people. Make your life simple, and everything around you will be simple as well. Your mission for today is simple. Make your day as simple as possible. And do this mission over and over and over and over again. Don't do things that are going to cause you stress. Don't do things that are going to cause you pain. Take away from your happiness, take away from your joy, take away from your peace, your fulfillment, and your purpose. What you're going to do today is whatever it is, every single task, every person you meet, every place you go, every hour of this day, you are going to take it for what it is, and you are going to make it simple. You're not going to go through the motions. You're going to be focused and attentive, but you're going to attack the day. And by attacking the day, you're going to be on top of things. Things are going to be simple. It's going to flow, and you're going to flow right along with it. It's going to flow because you're creating the flow. You are creating the momentum, and this day will go according to how you started. It doesn't matter what happens today. It doesn't matter what you've done, what you will say, what mistakes you make. Do it in simplicity. Do it knowing that it's all a learning experience. Do it knowing that when you get your after action report going and you look back at your day at night and you say, okay, what could I have done better? What could I have done that wasn't so damn chaotic? Then you can sit back and say, I can fix this, and tomorrow will be an even simpler day. And you continue this over and over and over again. And the more you do it, and it's a slow crawl, it's a slow roll, but the more you do it, the more you can get momentum going with the flow of a day, and you start making things simple, even when they appear to be complicated. When you attack it in a balanced, mindful way, you'll find that life in each day, one day at a time, is incredibly simple, and it is as simple as you, the individual, makes it. If you attack the day chaotic, it'll end chaotic. You attack it in simplicity, it'll end in simplicity. This is your day. You are here now. These are your moments. You own them. You are brave, bold, powerful. You do believe in yourself. You know you have more in the tank. You know the glass is half full. There is still more room for improvement. There is no end. Believe, believe, believe in yourself. You do believe in yourself. You do believe you can do whatever it takes to get the job done. You don't procrastinate. You don't embellish. You don't lie. You're true to yourself. Peace is in your mind. Peace is in your heart. Peace is in your body. It is definitely in your soul. You are greatness. You have purpose, intentful purpose. You are here for a reason. You are ambitious. You are loving. You are kind, empathetic, compassionate. You are self-love. You have self-control, self-respect. You are joy, peace, freedom, happiness. You are connected to everything in this world and in this universe. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Learn, laugh, and level up.